Live. I never know where to stand.
Over here.
I feel like my head should just be blocking that picture behind me. There we go. It's perfect.
My head's blocking a box of screwdrivers and some drinks. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to
Hello,
30 Days
hello.
of Tools. I am very unwell, but I don't want to fall behind. So if I disappear at any point, you don't want to know why, but just accept that I might not be coming back for a while. Tiny violin. Yeah.
You hear it?
I don't think I have a violin noise, otherwise I'd play it.
Everything. Tiny string quartet.
Yeah. So.
I hope you get better soon, mate.
I hope I get better soon, but we think our little boy's got it and he's causing it, so fingers crossed it's not too bad. But anyway,
there is a certain element of Schadenfreude in here. With the fact that you used to give me so much help because my daughter made me ill all the time, and now the tables have turned. But still, it still sucks. I hope you get better.
People should tell you about this, it's
they don't.
Having time off from being sick from your child. It's not even gone to nursery yet. That's in 2 weeks. So.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Open. Yeah. Anyway, welcome. We are on day. What day are we on? Well, we're technically
day
on
9, 10,
11, but we're gonna do day 9, aren't we?
Yeah.
However, I thought I would do day 8 because I'm technically a day behind. So I'm going to quickly do day 8, which was to share a testing tools video, I believe. And
yes.
I haven't watched it recently, so I'm breaking the rules. But hey ho, I'm gonna run with it. The talk that I liked the most because of the way it was delivered around tools was actually a talk called "Test Your Pipeline Might Be Missing" by Gene Gautama. And it was done at Test Bash Philadelphia, and he basically spoke about how you could add more to your pipeline that isn't just running, or the automated tests or checks that you've made. It was about adding in accessibility hooks, some performance stuff, some spelling stuff, testing for latest versions of things. It was really, really well delivered, and just went through the journey of a pipeline. And then even better, him and Avi Bangza then did a fantastic circus game. Which is actually written up on the circus activities on the website as well, where you had to line yourself up in order you should be executed on a pipeline. So you were given a certain role of the pipeline, and then you had to order yourself, and then they basically taught you through it. Well, if you run those tests first and then them after, you're delaying that feedback by this amount of time. And anyway, it was a pretty fun game. But yeah, that's the talk that I would recommend. Test Your Pipeline Might Be Missing from Test Bash Philadelphia. Right.
Did you see the stream that we did? Were you able to?
I haven't. I've read the thread, but I've not watched the actual stream.
Because it was interesting. One thing just to highlight and recap on is that how some people actually kind of interpreted it more as videos on sort of the mindset of tools. So Vern's choices were all around testability. And then there's a few other bits and pieces that people have shared, which is more the sort of thinking about which tool to choose and going down that route as well. So yeah. I think people have interpreted that challenge in different ways. So I think you can get a bit of a pass for the cheating, is what I'm saying.
Excellent. Right, well, that takes us nicely into what would have been Saturday's challenge and day 9. So we gave you an easy one because it's the weekend, right? Nice, easy weekend. But basically, we are trying to... Well, not trying to. We have built a new tool directory, and it's something that I've been wanting to build for a very long time, and a few other people have attempted to build tool directories, but they kind of, they end up slowly dying out because they don't get updated or maintained, and that's a bit of a shame. And the problem, well, not the problem, the thing that those alternatives have been missing is basically a huge, awesome community who are hopefully willing to maintain it. So that's what we're going to try and do. So we've started nice and simple. An MVP, and Mark would keep pushing me. What's the minimum we can do, Richard? But Mark, I've got all these ideas.
Eliminate the waste. Get things out in front of people. That's it.
Exactly. So we've got a lot of ideas for this, and I'll let Mark tell you potentially about how he wants to see it evolve and grow. But to start with, we built a very simple tool directory where you can just add the name of a tool and with a very brief tagline summary, very short description about how it might be useful. But yeah, like I said, we've got tons of ideas about how we want it to evolve. But yeah, Mark, how is it going to evolve?
Yeah, well, it kind of threads into sort of a mindset shift that we've had at Mott lately, which is trying to be a bit more open and public with the things that we're building and the things that we want to do. And you're going to see lots of cool stuff coming in the future. I actually have a task, which is my next thing to do, which is around sharing our roadmap and sharing actually all the things that we want to work on in the future and start getting more community feedback on that sort of stuff. But yeah, what's sort of kind of driving it is more this a case of sort of trying to have more of a lean mindset to things. So we've put together what we feel are like the fundamentals that we need for our tool directory, but we really want to hear what things you want to see added in there as well. And when I say what you are, like, that's from the perspective as an individual, but it might be from an organization, from, maybe you're watching this and you work on one of those tools. What would you like to be able to sort of share to the community? And we're going to try more of that. So working collaboratively together with the community, adding the features that you want, looking at how you're interacting with this and other features in the future, and go from there. So Richard can show like what we've got so far, but we definitely want to hear what other things you would like to see added in the future. We've got lots of crazy ideas. Like it's ideas aren't the problem; it's the priority of the ideas.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Anything you can think of that would be useful. I can literally dump all the ideas we've had, but you get there, find a tool, and there's linked to resources, linked to it, if it's open source, to its GitHub. If it's a tool, if it's a paid for tool, there's a link to them, comments from the community, training courses, not just MOTs but any ones that are also out there, recommended physical courses, so much other stuff that we can think of. But we want to mix that in with what you would like to see. So we'll show you what we've got. If I can find my mouse, which I can. There we go. Boom. That's not what we've got. That's not what we've got either. That's what we've got. So I've zoomed in massively, which is probably going to break MOT's website, but I'll fix it all. Look at that. That's beautiful. So over here on the homepage, we've got tools. So we're going to click on tools, and we're just zoomed in to make it easier for the stream to see. And you can basically just see when these tools are added. So Appy Tools is in there. Someone's added accessibility, bug magnet, leap work, living docs, Mabel. So there's SUI test, X-ray. So there's not been an awful lot added at the moment, but I think they get reviewed, so maybe there's a backlog. But simply you submit a tool and just fill in the really simple things. So I'm going to do one because obviously I want to complete my 30 days of tools. Now I think Charles Proxy is actually written like this, but I am not 100%. So we should confirm the I actually think it's just written as Charles, actually, but I'm going, it is. So we're just going to leave it like that. And let's write something useful. So Charles is a HTTP proxy that enables you to see traffic between your UI and the backend. Right, that'll do for now. Traffic between your machine actually is what and the back end, and then a link to Charles. Link to Charles.
Nice. We've got a few pending, but there should be 64 in there now.
Okay. I think I've not clicked the link then, and then I just submit, and happy days, we can see it. So I actually think I do know what's happened here then. If there's 64 of them in there. I wonder if zooming in has covered up. No, I think pagination has been removed. I think that's what's happening.
Cool.
I think it's just broke, Mark. I don't think there is 64. I think something's awry. But anyway,
this is the MVP, other motivation. Right? Testing in production now. So more like feedback. Please let us know if things don't. So please let us know if things are broken.
Exactly.
Yes. Hello, Ian. Hello, Amy. I hope you're well. Throw out a list to the community and have folks rank them. Yeah, so that's a good suggestion of a feature idea, is to actually have people, maybe like little heart, give some love, and we can sort of you could vote by like how much like love you have as a community for a tool. Definitely a cool idea.
Absolutely. So, Mark, I've added one. What tool are you going to add to the tool directory?
I am, because I was just talking about it just before we started the stream, and I don't think it's been added. I think it's going to have to be Mockaroo. But you've got the screen share, so you can add it for me. But I think definitely Mockaroo, because I was very much that very much saved my bacon the other day when I had to create a load of CSV files for a performance test I was running for my book.
Oh no, I'm too slow. I need a shortcut for this. A tool to help create test data.
So so Amy's asking, it looks super. Will it be categorized and or searchable?
If you want it to be.
It can be. It can be. I think that's crucially it. Like that's the way we're going forward with this, is that we could certainly make it categorized, or definitely. I think definitely searchable. We talked about bringing more stuff into the search tool in general, but yeah, categorized would be interesting because we do have tags within the system. So could we connect them to tags? So UI automation could connect to like various tools, that sort of idea.
Go and add it. Go and add it. You do it yourself.
Add it in there.
Yeah, go and add it. There's no rules. Again, as long as the website is correct and the description isn't, completely unrelated, then we will approve it. And like I said, we want to maintain this as a community. And search is definitely one. The MOT websites get slammed for search all the time, and like we know what we want to do to search. It's just we're a tiny company, so prioritizing it is the challenge. But we will get there. So let's have a look what other people have added. So Mickey's back again, and he's gone and added ET Session Management App. I'm guessing that's the name of it. Someone couldn't think of a cool name, so they literally named it what it is, which works. That's good enough. Christoph has submitted a few, but he hasn't told us what. Excellent. Christine's gone in with Faker.js. So Faker is actually something we use at Ministry of Testing. So we use the Ruby bindings for it, but we use Faker all the time, really, to create models.
I literally have mentioned Faker.js in an article I'm writing at the moment as well. So yeah, big love for Faker.
Did you see I moved my mouse then ready for the clown noise? I thought it was going to be something else. I thought it was...
No, it's in other stuff that I'm writing.
Okay. Let's keep going. So James has come in with Axe. I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but basically it's the accessibility tool. It's a very great tool. Jens has added Living Doc, which is a BDD tool apparently. So looks like it perhaps takes your Gherkin scenarios and makes them visible in some way. Not entirely sure. Not used it myself. Want to check out. Good old Bug Magnet. That's got to be there all the time. Which is fantastic. And Aaron, K9s. So I believe K9s is like a performance tool, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep, kind of related to Kubernetes. It basically allows you to interact with your clusters, and it watches them for changes, and you can send commands and observe performance.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of interesting. And then while she's even watching the stream, Louise has gone on and said, I would like to add SpecFlow. Well, the thing is, Louise, you probably could have added SpecFlow in the time it took to add that comment to the club. So hopefully we'll see SpecFlow come in shortly. So yeah, there it is. One that's kind of, as we said, light touch because it was a Saturday, but we are very serious about what we do with this tool directory. I think personally, anyone in our industry, in our domain, to come to a very up-to-date, maintained list of tools with clear explanations of how it can help you, links to resources, feedback from the comment, stars, hearts, whatever it may be, I think would be incredibly valuable because, as we mentioned, the goal of 30 Days of Tool is to be tool aware, and I see the tool directory as a long-term way of keeping the community tool aware. Yeah,
and thank you for those suggestions. I'm definitely going to add them internally, but when this roadmap comes live, I'll put those bits in. But that's exactly the sort of feedback we're looking for to sort of improve these things as well.
Fantastic. So we'll move on to challenge 10, which is just behind the stream there. Challenge 10, yesterday's challenge. Share an article about tools that you've recently read. So I'm going to struggle here because I'm a bit of a reading... I can't think of the word I wanted. Hiatus? What's the word I want, Mark? Hiatus? Anyway, I'm not reading, basically, because I'm struggling to read. I've not been a very good reader ever, to be honest, and I need to really be in a good place to be able to sit down and just read. So I'm a bit out of the loop on reading things. But yeah, Mark, have you've read any articles recently? Or written any?
What was I? Well, I'm writing an article on API testing at the moment, which should be out in a couple of weeks. Should be good. But I mean, I was looking at some stuff last night, and actually, an article I read, which was it was about regexes and using regexes to select nth lines. So basically, I had a log file yesterday where I was doing an export of Docker.
Yeah.
And the problem was a Docker stats. But the problem is every time I did the export, it would put like the sort of the column titles and then the stats. So you'd have like row 1, 3, 5, etc. were always like CPU, RAM, IO, that sort of stuff. So I needed to strip that out. So actually, I read an article on how to create regexes to do like nth lines in VS Code. I'll have to dig it out though because it's back in my history. But that was probably the last thing in terms of tools, which is, it's not a fun tool to learn, which is regex. Yeah, I'd say that's probably that. And I've been looking a lot of JMeter articles lately as well, just because I've been working with JMeter.
I think the one that's jumping out to me was actually one Andrew Jones was sharing. I think someone wrote it for Appy Tools, but it was about the new features of Selenium 4, where you can now you get full access to the Chrome debugger protocol. So you can now literally send anything you can do in the debugger, you could now do via Selenium 4, which I think that was the last one I've read. But let's see what other people have been reading, because I think they're obviously, hopefully, a bit more active than myself at the moment. Have you got this up, Mark? Do you want to take the lead?
I was going to add, nice one, Louise. Spec flows in there. It's just been approved on the lists. Sorry, so we on to Unlaws.
I haven't started yet, so Mickey's the first one, actually.
Oh, okay, we're talking about this one. An actual thing about the top 17 best exploratory testing tools. That'd be interesting. I'd be curious to know what sort of... Because the thing is that... there's a lot of tools you can use in exploratory testing, but normally when you look at exploratory testing tools, they tend to be around the capturing of details around your exploratory testing. So things like Capture, Test Buddy. Yeah. What's the one that Dell built? Or Dell did a version of. SBM Test Reporter or something, SBTM Reporter or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
sorry,
what you mean.
Can't remember what it's called. To be honest, you peaked with the PS5 bot.
Awesome. So, again, we didn't download the sound clip, but I think we decided it was Unlaw.
Yeah, Unlaw.
Yeah, Unlaw. So, have you? Excellent.
Yeah.
So, lots of things here that I don't know of. Using Podman. I have no idea what Podman is. Podman Compose with Micro Rocks or Micro Ox. I'm guessing it's meant to be Micro Rocks. To do native API mocking and testing.
Nice.
So that's definitely something new to me. And that you want to write an article about functional data sets, like fake name generator and this person does not exist. Do it! Write it!
Hello. We have 2 article slots available. Do it. Get in touch. Come do it.
Write it for MOT. We'll even pay you for writing it and we'll help you along the way. And then we'll share it to all these awesome people and everyone will have a good time.
Awesome editor bosses is on the stream at the moment, so... she's aware now that it's coming. So you have to do it. It's the law now.
And then basically, a bit like you actually, Mark, Christoph's been looking for some new performance testing tools, so he's been recently reading the best 9 performance testing tools. See, this is really interesting for me, right? Because I probably have a tweet somewhere that slams articles that are like the top 10 for this and the top 10 for that. I've never found them I have this bias when I open them. I'm immediately biased, and the first thing I do is, well, firstly, is this a company? So clearly their tool's going to be number 2. Then the second one is, has this been, who's paid for this to be created? Or does the author work with someone? So it's very rare that I see like genuine tool lists. But like, there's nothing wrong with the format, I don't think. I think it's right to write about your favourite tools. But I just always feel a bit icky when I read them, and I can't don't know why. I don't trust them immediately. Like, so I should be clear. I will open all the tools, and I will look at all the tools, but I'm still immediately a little bit like that. So, anyway,
I think it's the motivation, isn't it? Because you've talked about this before when we do AIT, which is that was it the second item in the list is always the author's tool.
Yeah, pretty
that
much,
sort of thing. So
you
I
can't
think
put yourself number one. Right.
Yeah, although I have seen a couple recently that they've just put themselves number 1, and it's just like, well, that's pretty baller.
Nice.
But I think that's it. I think the ickiness is the motivation behind it. So, I think if you're reading one and you're like, I know this is a marketing piece, but it has value because it can open my eyes to other stuff, I think that's all right. It's just you have to always be aware not to be swayed too much, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm going to move on to the next one, but before I do, I would say this thread is quiet. So there's a few reasons why this might be. Some of you haven't yet gone on and contributed, or we're not writing enough about tools. Yeah. So either one, if it's both of those things can be solved. But yeah, if you do want to write about tools, or you've been sat there, what shall I write about? What shall I do? Then boom, there you go. Write about some of the tools you're using, how you're using them, how they're helping. And that would be awesome. Oh yeah, when they do it across, like basically just trying to get the ad money, like one tool per page, and click next to get them all. Yeah, we don't want that. Nice comment, Rester.
Yeah, they're...
All right, let's keep going. Oh, this is one of your challenge ones, I believe, is it not?
Yeah, this is the one I'm quite excited about. This is one of the 2 that I'm quite excited on. Yeah, so for this one, I've been watching a lot of Taskmaster lately, and I've been really sort of appreciating that how. So if you've not come across Taskmaster before, it's basically 5 comedians have to solve various hilarious tasks, like melt a block of ice as quickly as possible, rescue a fluffy cat out of a tree as quickly as possible, that sort of idea. But what makes Taskmaster so good is the fact that the challenge is open-ended, and that's what I wanted to capture for this one. So there's so many different ways in which you can approach this. Like, there's so many different tools that you can use to generate a random list. So, for example, I've got a whole course, Introduction to JavaScript, which pro users can access. And the whole course is around learning JavaScript, but like to solve this challenge, like to build something where you can create random objects and random lists of things. That's quite elaborate, but then there are other tools out there that, and Laura mentioned in the previous post, there's a random name generator. So you could use something like that. So what I'm interested in here is diversity of ideas, diversity of approaches for this. I saw, and you've mentioned you wanted to do this one in the morning, but had no time. My view of this one is I think this is one where, we're kickstarting the challenge, but some people might be able to solve it quite quickly. But I think some people might have some elaborate ways of doing this. But yeah, ultimately, it's like, how can you just create a list of 100 words super quickly? Because we need it all the time. Like, we need to create random data sometimes very quickly. So I think it's a handy little tool to have in your toolbox, no matter how you go about doing it.
Nice. So, seeing as you've introduced it, I think of my tester hat immediately comes on. Now, are we talking a random 100 real words? 100 real words, or just 100 character strings? Right. That's what I immediately think.
They don't have to be real words, but I think they have to be distinct. Like, there has to be spacing between them. Like, not just one word that's 100 characters long.
Okay. Because my first thought is like, just a for loop with random string length 6, and then do that 100 times. Boom. But they wouldn't be real words. They would just be random lengths.
I mean, Lee's mentioned in the chat, it's like when wanting 100 words, would people consider length, language, special foreign characters? And that's interesting, actually, because I used a tool, so I used Mockaroo recently to create some data for my performance test. And I needed some for the description field for sending a message. And I just basically told it to go, oh, just do me at least 10 words, maximum 15. And then it sort of did a frequency range there. And I set that all up and stuff. And then I ran my performance test and it failed. And it kept failing was because some of those words were quite long and it was failing on the character count. Wow. So that screwed me over. So yeah, you do have to consider those things. Cool. And it's awesome that these questions and stuff are coming out. But yeah, really, it's just sort of a case of, for now, it's just like, how can you create some distinct words that don't necessarily need to be legible?
Okay, so what would you do before we look at their answers? Because we have to. So I've told you what I would do off the top of my head. I'll probably do, simple for loop for 100, string dot, generate string dot length anywhere between 1 and 15 or something. But then that would give me, like I said, wouldn't be real words. If I wanted real words, I would probably just jump to Mockaroo, given that I've been using it a lot. But yeah. How about you?
And I think that's it. Like, I swear I'm not being paid by Mockaroo today. But I think given that that's the one that's fresh in my mind, Mockaroo would be the one that I would use. And it has has like a, I don't know if library is the right word, a data set. Like one of the things you can choose in Mockaroo, which is basically just to say words. And then, like I say, you can set frequencies of how many times you want, like how many words you want, I want at least this amount, no more than that. That sort of idea. I'd probably use that.
Cool. Let's see what we've got then. So, Christoph has come in with... we've got a guest.
We've got a guest.
Got a guest. How would she do it, Mark?
How would Amelia do it?
Yeah.
How would she do it? She'd just mash the keyboard.
Finley's broken my keyboard doing that. I have broken Alt key. What else could she do? What if she just threw all her books up in the air, random page, take one from each page?
I think there's a voice to text and just she'd hit 100 words quite quickly.
Excellent. So, Christoph, he's got a random word generator, which is obviously a website, and he's got some sort of commentpicker.com, which again seems to be another PHP base. So again, this is the thing I like about when you see these random websites is you know that someone had this problem and then they built it. Or they built it, obviously, because they know other people will always have this problem and it's good web traffic and good probably add revenue. But there's probably hundreds of them out there.
Yeah.
Cake Ipsum, we were talking about Ipsums the other day, and there was Pirate Ipsum and Bacon Ipsum. I think that's my favourite. But yeah, there's quite a lot of them out there.
Makes me think of Jim. Anything baking related always makes me think of Jim.
They've even uploaded an example, a nice little GIF of an example there, which is nice.
Oh, wow. Oh, fantastic. Look at those. Yep, so lipsum.com, that's one I use a lot as well. Excellent. But this is the point. So I've seen in the chat there's mentions of so Amy mentions Groovy scripting. Ian's talking about Faker.js, or maybe using Bug Magnet. But yeah, there are tools where you can just be create me 10 words and away you go. Perl Clip. I think Perl Clip's probably the one that kind of introduced me to the concept of using tools more for things like that. For these sort of context. So
definitely. Again, another one there. Straight Up Python. Again, that's kind of what I think I was referring to, but obviously not Python. Me and Python aren't friends. One day we might be better friends. Dominic, I thought Dominic would have an interesting choice for this, given that he's very much a CLI command kind of person. So he's gone straight ahead and said, what if I just take 100 words out of the dictionary file on the computer?
That's cool.
That is an interesting way. So he's opening the file, reading it as a stream, and just basically doing a loop for 100 of them. That's cool.
So he touches on another thing as well. So we've talked a lot about what sort of words should they be sent, like should they be real words or made up words, foreign languages and stuff. But he's talking about the randomizer as well. So, like you think about in performance testing tools, for example, that you have 5 or 6 different ways of doing randomized numbers.
Yeah.
And Mockaroo does this as well. You can choose how you do the randomizing algorithm because computers are never truly random, I believe. I remember watching a YouTube video talking about why that's the case. But yeah, I think it's interesting that he picks up on that part as well, sort of saying Benford's law would make it less random.
I like how he's gone straight to the stock market as well to work that out, like to get the positioning of the letters. Bit too fast there. Louise Gibbs, she's come in. Really simple and boring way would be to go to randomlist.com. That should give you a list. And then other ways, watch countdown and use the words identified in each round. Get a cat or dog to walk on the keyboard. Oh, and funnily enough, Amelia just came in, but listen to an 18-month-old just randomly fire words every day. Excellent. So I would say this one is kind of one that we want to live on. Mentioning Tool Directory, we've got a ton of ideas as well around doing. There's a lot of challenges and little like katas across the MOT website, but they're not really centralized in any place. So if any of you came to any of our themed weeks, we gave you like challenges to complete across those themed weeks. We want to centralize a lot of these things at some point, just so you can go like, give me a random challenge for me to learn today, and this would kind of be one of them. But yeah, throughout the 30 days, keep returning to this thread. Maybe you might learn a new tool, and you come back here and update it in this thread. So yeah, this is one of the more like practical challenges in 30 days, and there's more of these to come as well.
Use it as a means to evaluate another tool, which is what we set last week, to consider as well.
Absolutely. So there we go. We're up to date, all caught up. A few things. If you're watching this for the first time, you don't know what 30 Days of Tools is, click on this link. Hopefully that will help you out. But basically, we
should have led with that, but
should have led with that this time round. I'm happy I'm still on the stream because
you're doing very well, mate.
There was one moment I thought I might have to despair. Check it out, and then you can subscribe. We'll send you the challenge to your inbox every morning. But if not, you can see the challenge posted on social media, on the Slack. And talking about Slack, I don't think we've missed it yet, have we, Mark? But I think Simon, our community boss, is running an experiment today. Let me just triple check what time he's doing that. He doesn't have a time. Tomorrow actually.
At 12 to 1. So that's just finished.
It says tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry, it's Monday, isn't it? Yeah, so tomorrow 12 till 1.
So I'll say what it is then, Mark. So tomorrow, 12 till 1, Simon is trying something new, and he's going to be doing an AMA on the Ministry of Testing Slack with Christine Zillold. That's probably not how you pronounce your name, but I apologise. So if you're on the Slack, join the 30 Days of Testing Challenge tomorrow between 12 and 1 for an AMA. What else have we got? Test.bash. So yes, Test.bash is edging ever closer. So if you're loving all this talk about tools, then we have a conference on good point. On Thursday. I know it's a Thursday. I think it's the 24th, is it? No, 28th. So on the 28th of October, we have Test.bash, which is our solely automation technical testing test bash. Fully online again at the moment. It's 12 hours long, so plenty of opportunities to dip in and out no matter what time zone you're in. And it's included in your Pro membership. So if you're a Pro member, head to the event page, register. If you're not Pro, go Pro, or consider going Pro. Ask your company. Go Pro for just a month if you just want to attend, or if subscribing is not an option because of the way your company does things. And we have a lot of these companies. It's really interesting. You can just buy a ticket. So you can just buy a ticket for the one-off conference as well. But there's lots of different talks, and we've basically got 5 outlines and different people delivering the same talk. So on the same topic, same abstract, but obviously, as you're seeing with these challenges, we'll get lots of different opinions. It's going to be a really awesome event.
Yep.
So check that out.
We're back tomorrow at 11:15 rather than 12:30 because it's a Tuesday and we have our 99-minute workshop to run. Thank you everyone for getting involved and chatting and sharing ideas and stuff. This has been the best stream so far, I feel like, and thank you. And we hope to see you all in the coming streams, share more ideas, get stuck in. It's going to be great.
Excellent. All right. Enjoy your
Next one.
days. See you later. Bye for now.